By the way, this is Rene Aguirre. He's been in the television industry for many, many years. He's educated at this. He didn't just get a job as a security guard and then went into production from there. You actually went to school, right?
I did. I went to Cal State Long Beach.
Well, that's considered a school.
I did the junior college first, Chaffey College in Rancho Cucamonga, and I took a couple broadcasting classes there. I got a AA there. There was a teacher by the name of Willard Pugh who kind of like
Willard Pugh?
Yeah, he played Harpo in The Color Purple. And yeah, he kind of like showed us like how to make money. He's like he's like, a lot of you have like this like grand idea that you're gonna become the next Steven Spielberg. He's like, this is the way I make money. So then like he started showing us like you could edit, you could do video,
real,
like the real, like applying real life, like.
I'm just checking the microphone. That is on. It is on.
He applied the reality of what production really is. Where yes, you can do whatever you want. You can be as great as you can be, but there's steps to get to that final point. And he kind of showed us how, and I'm like, shit, I wanted to pursue this because my friends and I, when we were kids, we used to make little movies. We used to do stupid little stop motion.
Is your friend Joe?
No. But Joe did take that class with me, but he lasted like 2 weeks and then he quit.
He would quit?
Yeah, I didn't think, it was a Saturday morning class and I don't think he likes waking up.
No.
Ever.
If you don't know Joe, just Google Talking Shit with Joe. I'll just put the link there.
Yeah.
No need to go into that. Just look at that. Also look at Nothing But Art on Instagram. A whole other story. Just make sure it's not around dinner time. So you went from school.
So yeah, junior college, and then transferred over to Cal State Long Beach. Got a degree there. 2004 graduated, and then I started. Once I got out of college, I took any job I could. I was doing craft service, did makeup work.
Makeup?
Prosthetic makeup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, Guillermo del Toro, that's how he started.
Yeah, I mean, you have to start somewhere. Like whatever you do, you have to start somewhere.
So is it the rumor that all makeup artists are gay? Is that true? Or are you not that anymore? You're not into makeup?
This isn't a very PC show, is it?
No. Well, we haven't said any curse words. We haven't. Just make sure you just don't curse. You can say, balls. Just don't say,
Yeah, not gay. It was fun to put makeup on women. That was fun. But it was like bruises and like.
Sounds like you were doing some really quality projects. So you were putting black guys on women.
Yeah, black guys.
I don't even want to see that product. I don't think that's even allowed nowadays.
Yeah. So then after that, I did grip work, electrical work. I did local cable ads, and then I got a job at CTV in the marketing space and started working with a bunch of comedians. So that's where that led me into working with comedy.
Comedy, okay. And now where are you at now?
I work with Arson House. I work with a management team. We're currently directing all their content development, working with all the comics that they represent, figuring out ways how to maximize their fan base and get more views, more numbers, more ticket sales.
Yeah. So in your life, you've taken a lot of pitches for TV shows. Can you give some of the people watching, because they always they're like, how do you pitch? There's no really. Well, I don't really even know. You tell us how not to do it, perhaps.
For me, I personally hated when I would get a pitch and they would immediately say, "This is like this version, but with Latinos." So we would, in the network I used to work at, we'd always get the pitch. We got this show. It's like the Kardashians, but with Latinos, or it's like West Coast Choppers, but with Latinos. It's like we don't, they think just because you put a Latino in a world that was already existed in another show that it'd be like a slam dunk.
So I wonder if they do that with, they go to BET with the same pitch.
I'm sure they do.
And they go, it's like West Coast Choppers with black people.
Yeah, they feel like it's like a Lego piece where they just interchange the the race.
Yeah.
I enjoy the pitches that were established with a talent in mind, not being pitched a talent and then having to figure out what to do with that piece of talent. A well-crafted idea would always allow for us to be able to take it further up the ladder for approvals, where as opposed to like if we had a half-baked idea that was pitched to us and it wouldn't involve a lot of development time, which we were kind of short-staffed. We didn't have that manpower to sit and focus on a half-baked idea when we're actually doing currents on shows and working on actual productions.
Yeah.
I hated typos in pitches. I get when they would leave a leave behind one sheeter.
Is it a good idea to leave? Because I've heard it's not a good idea to leave materials. From an executive perspective, does it help? Does it not?
It's easier if you have a link. It's always easier because it just gets stacked up on your desk.
Yeah.
If you have a link in an email, formally written, all the information you need is answered. You don't have to constantly call and ask questions on what the project is. If all the links work, you're good.
And how many times should someone email you to follow up? Is it okay 10 times a day or 5 times a day?
It's good. Well, for us, I always tried to get back within a week or two. We had development meetings every week, so we would present the ideas that we thought had some type of, some legs where we thought they could fit the brand. We would then discuss it, and if it was a pass, we would let everybody know within a couple days after.
That's nice of you.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. I mean, because you can't leave them hanging, because you never know, they could have the next big idea, and even if their first idea was not that great, you never know, their next idea could be the next big hit.
It turned into Dave Chappelle something, and then you have to look at them in the face. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I find that a lot of Latino executives are the hardest on Latinos. Like they're rather it's like a weird, not racist, but there's a certain thing that they don't want to hook up another Latino because they probably feel like, oh, I don't want people to think where I work that I'm just because he's Latino, I'm giving them that chance. So I think that they're hardest.
I've experienced that done to me. I would look at a person as whatever project they present. If it was a terrible project, they were the person that brought me a terrible project. Didn't matter what race, what ethnicity. But I did notice there's a lot of haters. Like there's a lot of haterism going on between the Latino community and our industry.
Yes.
They don't want to help each other. It's very ununified.
Yeah. Even with agencies, like we notice there's not that many Latino agents, and the Latino agents probably don't represent a lot of Latinos because they don't want to be like, oh,
they don't want to be
Latino agent.
Yeah. Yeah, I've worked with agents who have a specific, vision, who do like to represent Latinos, but they're not a Latino agent. They just know that there is a market for a Latino talent. One thing I always hated about being pitched Latino specific shows is, as my mom would say, they would slap you in the face with a tortilla. Like, yes, you know that it's Latino. I don't have to be reminded that it's Latino.
Although the tortilla thing is funny. Like if you get a good air, you hear that, But I know what you mean. Like the Latino centric culture. But then again, at the same time, they don't really let us in the mainstream. It's not like you don't see Everybody Loves Raymond. You don't see Everybody Loves. Well, George Lopez kind of broke in a little bit. But I wouldn't consider that necessarily like a Latino, show where it's like Latinos were watching because everybody was watching. It's mainstream.
Yeah, I think it's ideal to always present something as general market, and there's somebody in the show that is Latino, like Jessica Alba. She's Latina, but that wasn't her selling point. She was just an actress who did her job really well, and now she's a smart businesswoman. Yeah. Nobody's saying, oh, she's a Latina businesswoman. Yeah. They just say she's a businesswoman. Now, like
no one says she was an actress. but
Yeah.
no, I mean, have you seen it in Fantastic Four? Never mind. Let's stop the hate. Let's stop the hate.
Fantastic Four was so bad that they had to reuse one of the characters. Was it who became Captain America? Yeah.
Who?
Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm.
Yeah, he became he within the same world. Like, if somebody were to like dive into it, like he played another character in the Marvel universe. Captain America did.
Fantastic Four.
So they completely forgot about it. I think the only thing that came out of those movies that were good was fuck the guy who played the Commish.
Michael Chiklis.
Yeah, Michael Chiklis.
Oh,
the Thing.
yeah. But I'm not really a Fantastic Four fan.
Nobody was.
Nobody. Maybe the Flame guy has some potential, but I'm an Aquaman fan, and I know he's the most popular one. But now, have you seen what they're doing with Samoa? What's his name? Michael Momoa?
Yeah, he's Aquaman.
Aquaman, yeah. But they made him look badass, and I'm like, yes, that's the real Aquaman. It's not this was riding with Wonder Woman and Invisible Plane. Like, he has his own thing going on.
Do you think they could do that with Robin?
They could. Didn't they do something?
No.
Well, maybe I thought about it. No, I think Robin, the difference is that he's that psychic. Like, that's what he's known for. Aquaman controls all the animals. I mean, just with the sharks, he's powerful. Like, I mean, sharks are dangerous.
Do you think they should do a crossover with Sharknado and Aquaman?
Wow. Why? No, the question is, why is not Aquaman in Sharknado?
Who knows?
Well, maybe probably rights and production and things like that. But Aquaman, he can talk to fish. And I know people say that's stupid. It's not. I mean, you can't talk to animals. You know, like, don't judge Aquaman, you know, because of his ability to talk to fish.
Did you just make him Jamaican?
Why?
You just call him Aquaman.
Well, I was trying to not have a Spanish accent. But aqua is such a Spanish word.
Agua, yeah.
Yeah, aqua. But going back to the pitches, by the way, nobody care about either Aquaman or the pitches. But no, I do get a lot of email that people are like, hey, I really want to, get my pitch out there. I have the greatest idea. But I think a lot of times it's how to connect with people. So how do people connect, for example, with you?
Well, for us, sometimes I would get hit up through like various sources, and that would sometimes get annoying. We ended up having to streamline it, and we'd only take pitches from people that were represented by a bigger agency, or if it was like a recommendation from somebody who we knew internally. But yeah, if you allow for a free-for-all, like, and it sucks because there's going to be a lot of ideas out there that will never get heard because of those barriers. But it's because there's the people out there who ruin it for everybody. Who do send 10 emails a day. I got a guy yelling at me one time because I turned his pitch down over the phone, and it was like a cold call. He just randomly called me, and he gave me this pitch, and I just told him, it sounds like this isn't the right show for us, and it wasn't. It could have worked for another network, but not for us. And he got mad at me, and he was saying he was going to call every superior above me, and at that point you just say, okay, well, feel free. Like, it's unfortunate that because of people like him, there's people out there who never get the opportunity to be able to pitch because they ruin it.
Yeah,
they ruin those opportunities, those open door opportunities. And there's times where we do, or there's certain avenues where you could take. There's like conferences where you could go and pitch your ideas, and there's executives who are there to listen. But sometimes you run into crazy people there as well.
So crazy is like crazy people is the theme here. Right? It's just they want to get their show's ideas out, and maybe some of those crazy people have great ideas, but I know what you mean, like following the chain of command. Although, and even the bigger establishments is so locked tight. That you do need a big agency.
Unless you have a big agency behind you, they won't listen to you.
Yeah. So, do you recommend someone coming up to you? You're eating some tacos somewhere, and just say, "Hey, I got an idea."
If they were buying me my food, I would.
So you heard it. If you see him somewhere and you want to pitch him, just pay for his food, and he'll listen. He probably gonna turn it down though. Just so that you know. So now that
if it's a place where you have to pay for parking, they have to take care of that too.
they the parking. And what about if it's like a Dodger game or something?
Depends.
And you already have hot dogs. You already have all your food.
If
you have to listen.
Yeah.
If it's a Dodger fan though.
Hey, there's souvenir shops. Hey, there's hats.
Yeah.
Size XXX, shirts, 7 5/8 and a half.
And what about? This is a tricky question because what is the craziest pitch you've heard? Yet it's weird. It's weird because did any of those crazy pitches ever make it where you're like, what the?
No. And I think anytime if there was any show that I passed on that I really liked, was always because monetarily we couldn't afford it. And there's been a couple where like I've seen them go on to another network and I was like, damn, if only we had the money. There's been pitches where I've heard and I was like, that's probably one of the best ideas. Nobody will ever do it.
Yeah.
Just because of it'd be too expensive or the subject matter. But there's reasons why things don't happen. But then there's been some pitches that I've gotten where it's like, why am I sitting in this room with this person? It's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Well, how do they get in the room?
This was when I first moved into the programming side. I think they came in through a proper channel, so they had some agent that set up the meeting for them. I don't know, my assistant just said, hey, you have a meeting today. And me and my other colleague had sat in this meeting and we listened to this pitch and we're like, we use that as a reference to like the worst pitch we ever got.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. But isn't that memorable? Because if you see
funny,
this person again, you're like, yes.
It's so funny. It was just like, I wish I could say what it was, but in the case that this episode I wouldn't.
Because that person is still out there pitching that show. They know who they are. They know exactly who they are. They're probably looking at you like, yeah, that's me.
It was so bad. It felt like it was like one of those failed SNL sketches that you're like, oh, is this supposed to be a comedy? No, this is serious.
He's out there right now watching this, or she, and looking at you like, yeah, he's talking about me. Hey, don't give up. You keep. He's somewhere else now. You know, maybe this is the place now.
Just modify it. Just
just delete that document and then just create something else, and then I think you have a chance. Okay, so good. So I mean, this is like I like to give this information. People, you would think it's simple, but a lot of people don't know how to pitch, where to pitch, how to get your show out there. And a lot of people send you because I don't even have a network, and people send me stuff unsolicited.
Because last time we were supposed to do this at Real Screen. So Real Screen actually is a good place to, you have to pay. Yeah, REEL. They have these workshops where you could go and pitch to executives, and that's where you could, you just sign up. I think you have to pay. I don't know about that side of it, but you could set up a time. For us, it's kind of like for us, it was like speed dating, where we sat for 5 minutes, for 1 hour, 5 minutes with each person. It was like 20 people just in rotation, and they would pitch a show, then next, pitch a show, next. There was a couple of things, there was a couple of like inklings of ideas that were great that I've heard doing those, but it's a good way to practice. It's a good way to practice to pitch, get your content.
And you've done you worked on the Puppet Shit show.
The Puppet
Is it still online? Can people look at it?
Yeah, it should be on Hulu.
Hulu.
It should be on Hulu. The Hollywood Puppet Shit show. We did that with Wilmer Valderrama's company, WVE. It was
something. Google Wilhelmina production company.
Yeah.
But when you did also some stuff with Fluffy.
Yeah, we did Fluffy's Food Adventures. So I was executive producer on both of these shows.
And that's if you don't understand how hard it is to get Fluffy to do something, because every company wants him. He's like one of the hottest comedians out there, and his time is very valuable. So I don't even know how you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard. It was just we worked around his schedule, and we gave him a very good deal that benefited him, and he was fun to work with.
But for him to actually agree, he must have seen something within the team, because I'm sure it's not about the money. I'm sure a lot of people offer him money. It's more.
Yeah,
he probably saw the creativity.
Yeah, at the time
from you guys.
Yeah, at the time we had a team. We were rebranding, and we were looking for new content. We're kind of changing the image of what we're doing there, and it was a couple of years of just having conversations with him and trying to figure out what would be the best fit for him. And he was touring, so finding something that would fit within his tour schedule, and we allowed him to be as creative as he wanted to, and and it was fun. We were able to work something out.
Is that online? Can people check it out online?
It's on Hulu. It's on
Hulu.
Hulu now. Yeah, Fuse has a lot of shows, a lot of their previous shows that I worked on that are now on Hulu.
Fuse, because it used to be CTV, then Nuvo.
Nuvo TV, and then
Fuse. And now they even have Fuse outside the building.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Man.
I've been talking about that since they moved. I remember I was working at CTV when they made the move, and that was in 2009. And they've been talking about, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. 2 years ago, like, hey, we're finally going to do it.
Yeah.
And I just saw it a couple days ago.
I know. I mean, I had a show on there.
Turn on? Do they work?
I haven't seen it at night. Maybe because of that, because they don't have lights. But it's like a big deal to put your name on a building. I mean, I want to do that one day. I don't know what name yet, but I'm gonna put a name on the building.
No, it looks good. I saw Joe Biden. I'm glad.
It's a constant reminder. I should drive by.
It was fun. I really do. That brand definitely has something there. I wouldn't have been there as long as I was if I didn't believe in what the culture and what they were trying to do. J-Lo obviously saw something in it. She was involved with the company.
I saw something in her, yeah. But when you started, and actually that's another tidbit, because you started in the marketing department and you were doing almost like promo videos and so on.
Yeah, I was an producer editor.
But I saw you grow from that, to executive. And if you don't understand how hard it is to make that transition, because when you start at a certain level, they never really take you seriously, right? They're like,
you're
just an editor, or you're just a promo guy.
Yeah, they whatever job you applied for and got, that's what they usually try to keep you.
Yeah, and it's hard to make that transition in the same company. I mean, you could go to another company, but that tells you the level of talent you have and the people you've worked with and everything you contribute, even what you're doing now. So you're creating, I think, even more content now, right? Like you have more free reign.
Yeah, and it's like we don't really have to deal with FCC.
Yeah.
We have a lot more freedom. It's really what we could get out that's ethical enough where you're not gonna offend anybody or is illegal.
Ethical in parentheses. It's up to opinion. Illegal, I guess that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
But if no one dies,
it's keeping within the brand of each talent that you work with, because every talent's different. Every talent has their own specific brand, specific audience that they gear their work towards. So, as long as we're creating content that fits that mold per talent, I think they should be successful.
There you have it. So if somebody wants to contact you, do you have you know what? Do this. Leave a comment on this video, and I don't know, I'll screenshot you the comments, and then you look at. Actually, leave your show ideas right below this video,
or email him your show ideas.
Actually, I have my email out there. KEU@artisticwarfare.com. Send me your show ideas. Make sure they're protected. Not that I'm even gonna do them, but just because you always want to protect. That's another thing.
Yeah,
You're like,
that's another thing.
how important is that for you that people protect their work?
There's a lot of people that actually go to the extent of getting it filed, like with the Writers Guild. They'll have a lawyer send it over, notarized. I mean, those are great steps to take because there's a lot of thievery in this industry.
Yeah.
And without that properly backing yourself up, it's hard to protect it. Like an email that's dated this date doesn't really say anything because
Take note. So the Writers Guild, is that a good way?
yeah, I guess it really depends on how deep it is in the creative. I don't know. I forget what their regulations are in order for you to go that route. But if you could get a notary, do that. That's probably the cheapest route. If you could afford a lawyer, getting a lawyer to submit your work for you. But if you're going through an agency, that's probably like, you're good then. Yeah, but
a real agency, by the way, because that's another thing.
yeah. There's some mom and pop agencies that
they gotta be a Writers Guild agency, right? Like, because
if you're
like fuck that bitch agency is probably not real. Like,
yeah, if you're paying your agent and he's not bringing you any money.
Yes. If you've never seen your agent's office and he just Snapchats you like your meetings, something is up.
If your agent has an Uber sticker on his car.
Hey, maybe his wife is an Uber driver. No, but thank you so much for doing this, because a lot of people are gonna really enjoy it. Not a lot of people, just people trying to sell TV shows. And you're also a Dodger fan, so you might catch you at a game. If you mention this, that you saw him here, he'll buy you a hot dog.
Well, I thought they were buying me shit.
If they want to pitch, but if they just, I just want them to know. Hey, tell you, hey, I saw you in whatever podcast, whatever this is called.
Just say hi. I don't know how many people watch it, like 23. So I don't know if I want to go and buy 23 hot dogs.
It's a small world. Someone's gonna come up to you and be like, "Hey, you owe me a hot dog." Hey, dog. Hey.
I'm not buying hot dogs, but I'll talk.
Oh, I'll leave you with this. Do you think Tupac is alive?
He's alive in all of us.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. You didn't offend anybody, because that's something offensive. You can curse. Yeah, some people they know Tupac is alive and they will be upset.
Well, I hope his next album is better than.
It's still coming out. You know Craig Mack? You know Craig Mack?
Yeah, he died.
Yeah. Did you know he was in a cult?
I didn't know. Oh yes. Oh yeah, I heard it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, but he was still in it, and he gave him all his money to the cult. And I actually did a video about this yesterday. You can see the link right there. And he was in this cult, and the pastor of the cult, or the leader or whatever, he was arrested for child molestation and all kinds of sexual abuse. And Craig Mack was supposed to be one of the people that were going to testify against the pastor, and he mysteriously dies.
Oh shit.
So I don't know. When you're in those places, Kool-Aid is very cheap, and
1,000 degrees. You'll be on your knees.
But you'll never get that investigated. They can't even get Biggie and Tupac killed in Sunset Boulevard. He's in South Carolina somewhere, so you're never gonna hear about that. But thank you so much for being here. Leave a comment with your show ideas. Actually, leave your worst show idea in the comments.
Yeah, see who's the worst. If you could make. If you leave the worst show idea ever, you'll buy a hot dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I will. A pack of hot dogs.